Matter for serious thought. A man presented himself to be blessed by a sight of the deity. He had an access of joy and devotion at the sight, and perhaps to pay back the good he received, he burst out into a song. In one corner of the hall, reclining against a pillar, was Chobeji dozing. He was the priest in the temple, an athlete, a player on the guitar, was a good hand in swallowing 2 jugfuls of bhang, and had various other qualifications besides. All on a sudden, a dreadful noise assailing his tympanum, the fantastic universe conjured up under the influence of the inebriating liquor vanished for a moment from Chobeji's enormous chest of 2 inches, and casting his crimson-tinged, languid eyes around in search of the cause of disturbance to his tranquil mind, Chobeji discovered that in front of the god was a man singing, overwhelmed with his own feelings, in a tune as touching as the scouring of cauldrons in a festive house. And in so doing, he was subjecting the shades of the whole host of musical masters like Narada, Bharata, Hanuman, Nayaka, and the rest to ineffable anguish. The mortified Chobeji, in a sharp reprimanding tone, addressed the man who had been the direct obstacle to his enjoyment of that particular bliss of inebriation. "Hello, my friend, what are you shouting like that for, without caring for time or tune?" Quick came the response. "What need I care for time or tune? I am trying to win the Lord's heart." "Humph," retorted Chobeji. "Do you think the Lord is such a fool? You must be mad. You could not win my heart even, and has the Lord less brains than I? The Lord has declared unto Arjuna, 'Take thou refuge in me, thou hast nothing else to do, and I shall deliver thee.'" Bhola Chand is mighty glad to hear this from some people. He now and then yells out in a trenchant note, "I have taken refuge in the Lord. I shall not have to do anything further." Bhola Chand is under the impression that it is the height of devotion to bawl out those words repeatedly in the harshest tone possible. Moreover, he does not fail to make it known now and then in the aforesaid pitch that he is ever ready to lay down his life even for the Lord's sake, and that if the Lord does not voluntarily surrender himself to this tie of devotion, everything would be hollow and false. And a few foolish satellites of his also share the same opinion. But Bhola Chand is not prepared to give up a single piece of wickedness for the sake of the Lord. Well, is the Lord really such a fool? Why, this is not enough to hoodwink us even. Bholapuri, an out-and-out Vedantin, in everything he is careful to trumpet his Brahminhood. If all people are about to starve for food around Bholapuri, it does not touch him even in the least. He expounds the unsubstantiality of pleasure and pain. If through disease or affliction or starvation people die by the thousand, what matters even that to him? He at once reflects on the immortality of the soul. If the strong overpower the weak and even kill them before his very eyes, Bholapuri is lost in the profound depths of the meaning of the spiritual dictum, "The soul neither kills nor is killed." He is exceedingly averse to action of any kind. If hard-pressed, he replies that he finished all actions in his previous births. But Bholapuri's realization of unity of the self suffers a terrible check when he is hurt in one point. When there is some anomaly in the completeness of his bhiksha, or when the householder is unwilling to offer him worship according to his expectations, then in the opinion of Puriji, there are no more despicable creatures on earth than householders, and he is at a loss to make out why the village that failed to offer adequate worship to him should even for a moment add to the world's burden. He too has evidently thought the Lord more foolish than ourselves. I say, Ramcharan, you have neither education nor the means to set up a trade, nor are you fit for physical labor. Besides, you cannot give up indulging in intoxications, nor do away with your wickednesses. Tell me, how do you manage to make your living? Ramcharan: That is an easy job, sir. I preach unto all. What has Ramcharan taken the Lord for? The city of Lucknow is astir with the festivities of the Muharram. The gorgeous decorations and illumination in the principal mosque, the Imambara, know no bounds. Countless people have congregated, Hindus, Mohammedans, Christians, Jews. All sorts of people, men, women, and children of all races and creeds have crowded today to witness the Muharram. Lucknow is the capital of the Shias, and wailings in the name of the illustrious Hassan and Hussein rend the skies today. Who was there whose heart was not touched by the lamentation and beating of breasts that took place in this mournful occasion? The tale of the Karbala, now 1,000 years old, has been renovated today. Among this crowd of spectators were two Rajput gentlemen who had come from a far-off village to see the festival. The Thakur Sahibs were, as is generally the case with village zamindars, landlords, innocent of learning. That Mohammedan culture, the shower of euphuistic phraseology with its nice and correct pronunciation, the varieties of fashionable dress, the loose-fitting cloaks and tight trousers and turbans, of 100 different colors to suit the taste of the townsfolk, all these had not yet found their way to such a remote village to convert the Thakur Sahibs. The Thakurs were therefore simple and straightforward, always fond of hunting, stalwart and hardy, and of exceedingly tough hearts. The Thakurs had crossed the gate and were about to enter the mosque when the guard interrupted them. Upon inquiring into the reasons, he answered, "Look here, this giant figure that you see standing by the doorway, you must give it 5 kicks first, and then you can go in." "Who is the statue, pray?" "It is the statue of the nefarious Yezid who killed the illustrious Hassan and Hussein 1,000 years ago. Therefore is this crying and this mourning." The guard thought that after this elaborate explanation, the statue of Yezid was sure to merit 10 kicks instead of 5. But mysterious are the workings of karma, and everything was sadly misunderstood. The Thakurs reverentially put their scarves round their neck and prostrated and rolled themselves at the feet of the statue of Yezid, praying with faltering accents. "What is the use of going in any more? What other gods need be seen? Bravo, Yezid, thou alone art the true God. Thou hast thrashed the rascals so well that they are weeping till now." There is the towering temple of the eternal Hindu religion, and how many ways of approaching it. And what can you not find there? From the absolute Brahman of the Vedantin down to Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti, Uncle Sun, the rat-riding Ganesha, and the minor deities such as Shashti and Makal, and so forth, which is lacking there. And in the Vedas, in the Vedanta and the philosophies, in the Puranas and the Tantras, there are lots of materials, a single sentence of which is enough to break one's chain of transmigration forever. And oh, the crowd! Millions and millions of people are rushing towards the temple. I too had a curiosity to see and join in the rush. But what was this that met my eyes when I reached the spot? Nobody was going inside the temple. By the side of the door, there was a standing figure with 50 heads, 100 arms, 200 bellies, and 500 legs, and everyone was rolling at the feet of that. I asked one for the reason and got the reply, "Those deities that you see in the interior, it is worship enough for them to make a short prostration or throw in a few flowers from a distance. But the real worship must be offered to him who is at the gate. And those Vedas, the Vedanta, and the philosophies, the Puranas, and other scriptures that you see, there is no harm if you hear them, read now and then, but you must obey the mandate of this one." Then I asked again, "Well, what is the name of this God of gods?" "He is named Popular Custom," came the reply. I was reminded of the Thakur Sahibs and exclaimed, "Bravo, Popular Custom! Thou hast thrashed them so well," etc. Gurgure Krishnavyal Bhattacharya is a vastly learned man who has the knowledge of the whole world at his finger ends. His frame is a skeleton. His friends say it is through the rigors of his austerities, but his enemies ascribe it to want of food. The wicked, again, are of opinion that such a physique is but natural to one who has a dozen issues every year. However that may be, there is nothing on earth that Krishnavyal does not know. Specially, he is omniscient about the flow of electric magnetic currents all over the human body, from the hair tuft to its furthest nook and corner. And being possessed of this esoteric knowledge, he is incomparably the best authority for giving a scientific explanation all things. From a certain earth used in the worship of the goddess Durga, down to the reasonable age of puberty of a girl being 10, and sundry inexplicable and mysterious rites pertaining to allied matters. And as for adducing precedents, well, he has made the thing so clear that even boys could understand it. There is forsooth no other land for religion than India, and within India itself, none but the Brahmins have the qualification for understanding religion, and among Brahmins too, all others excepting the Krishnavyal family are as nothing, and of these latter again, Gurgure has the preeminent claim. Therefore, whatever Gurgure Krishnavyal says is self-evident truth. Learning is being cultivated to a considerable extent, and people are becoming a bit conscious and active, so that they want to understand and taste everything. So Krishnavyal is assuring everybody, discard all fear. Whatever doubts are arising in your minds, I am giving scientific explanations for them. You remain just as you were. Sleep to your heart's content, and never mind anything else. Only, don't forget my honorarium. The people exclaimed, Oh, what a relief! What a great danger did really confront us! We should have had to sit up, and walk, and move. What a pest! So they said, Long live Krishnavyal, and turned on one side on the bed once more. The habit of 1,000 years was not to go so soon. The body itself would resent it. The inveterate obtuseness of the mind of 1,000 years was not to pass away at a moment's notice. And is it not for this that the Krishnavyal class are held in repute? Bravo, habit! Thou hast thrashed them so well, etc.